Alright, so let's go with the Greasefang. Okay, now we can crew this one. And we can hit him really hard this turn. Man, this is 10 damage. Hello everyone, it's Sloth. Another day, another deck. This one, it's Greasefang Vehicles with Mardu. So don't run away. I know it's vehicles, but those vehicles are actually super cool. This is one of the best vehicles deck I have seen since a very long time, and it's actually really fun to play. The amount of decisions you have in this deck is insane. You can go extremely aggressive if you feel like that you can, outrace your opponent with life totals. But if you don't feel like it, you can take this deck and go full value mode. With 4 Bankbusters, you can basically draw something crazy like 3 cards a turn. And the longer you do it, the more creatures you have it, vehicles, Surgehacker Mechs. And then you can start controlling the battlefield with all the removal, all the creatures, and very efficient attackers, because don't forget, Greasefang is basically endless value. If they don't kill this card, you can get back your vehicles over and over and over, and it will tear most decks apart over time. Unless you tear them apart very quickly, because the explosive nature of this deck means that you can hit for insane amount of damage in like 2-3 first turns. Or actually 3, okay. But you can put like 7 damage on the board on turn 3 already. So your opponent is at 13. This is insane, and you can follow the aggression over and over. So depending on your draw, you can be extremely oppressive to a lot of decks, and sometimes you will have gut draw that your opponent simply cannot keep up. Even if he has the cards, he will be dead before he uses them. However, as I said, you can just go full value mode. So I think it's one of the more skillful decks. So many decisions to be made. Nearly every of your card includes some kind of decision. So definitely a good one if you want to, experiment with vehicles and get good with some deck. This one definitely has a lot of potential to be extremely powerful. So what the deck is about? Oh, and we will also beat the CGB mono blue thing. So if you struggle with this deck, which is extremely popular, we had a top 220 player playing it. And we, I think, outplayed him a little bit. So definitely check out this game. And back to the deck. So what the deck is about. The big part of the deck is Raffine Informant. This is a simple creature that just connives. Nothing special, you say. And it is. However, you can discard vehicles as quickly as turn 2 with this one. So, you of course want to hit Surgehacker Mech or the Bankbuster. Especially if you have already the Greasefang in the hand. Because then, the next turn, you can play Greasefang, at the combat phase reanimate one of your cool mechs, preferably Bankbuster because it's more efficient in damage, and then you can tap the Greasefang that has Summoning Sickness and attack with Raffine Informant. That was the explosive start for 7 damage, and it gets better until since this turn, because you have so much removal, like we have Valorous Stance, Infernal Grasp, Fateful Absence. Don't forget, Valorous Stance is very extremely important in this deck, because this is one of the few ways you can protect your Greasefang, especially if you expect something like Sweeper. You can actually also crew your vehicles in response to Sweeper, so they get put into the graveyard, and then you protect Greasefang, and next turn you can start attacking with a lot of stuff again. So a lot of plays with this deck. Bankbuster is probably the biggest engine for the deck except Greasefang. This is the card that not only draws you cards as usually, in this deck it will be extremely common when you attack with this, with 3 counters, even into blockers that can kill it. Because, it's in a way, as long as they don't answer Greasefang, it's a free card though. Yeah, the only problem is recasting it for 2 mana, but other than this, it's just a free card. So, as long as you trade with anything, it's probably a good trade for you. So with that being said, we also have some kind of slower mid-game plans. So we have Restoration of Eiganjo. This really helps with the planes because you generally need a lot of mana with this deck. With 4 Bankbusters, you can draw as many cards as you have time and mana. So definitely helps, and it also helps to, you know, stabilize. 4 mana is important part of the deck because you have Surgehacker Mech, Serra Paragon, or you can just make double 2 mana play, and as you can see we have a lot of 2 mana drops. So hitting this 4 mana has saved me a lot of times. Like, I really like this card for this reason. However, Chapter 2. You can discard a card. Guess what you can discard? What's better? You can discard a vehicle that you will get back with Greasefang, but you can also get back something like Raffine Informant, Spirited Companion. Things that give you value, so you basically never run out of gas with this deck. It has so many recurring things that you can just keep doing over and over all the things. And even the Chapter 3. The creature with 3 attack, moment it has summoning sickness, you can already start using it to crew the Bankbusters and hit harder and harder. Like, it seems like, you know, normal thing, like you can crew, but all together they make such explosive deck. Every creature that you play, this basically has haste. Every creature that you play basically has haste because you have so many vehicles that you can just always crew. And yeah, this is like the big power of the deck. We of course have Fable. It's a, you know, good start. It also can discard your card, and the Kiki Jiki is actually also very important because of, you know, abundant amount of creatures that you have in this deck. Like, you can copy a lot of stuff. Remember, you cannot copy the Greasefang because it's legendary. So target non-legendary creature, of course, but other than this, you can even like either copy the Surgehacker Mech, which is the one of the biggest parts as well. Of course, it's the second vehicle, but the fact that this is our prime removal for everything, like, you usually have Bankbuster from my experience in the board when you cast this. So this usually deals 4 damage to whatever you want. Man, that's insane. That's so much damage. And the fact that you can basically keep removing stuff every single turn, because at some point you can, you know, just put it under the wheels, they need to block it, or just, you know, you put it as a blocker. So your opponent cannot attack with anything that has 5 power or more, because you just chump block and, you know, remove this one, get into the graveyard and get it back with Greasefang, and then it's 3 damage. And you can go very high with this one, like dealing 8-10 damage is still possible for this card. And you can basically keep removing 1 creature a turn for 0 mana every single turn. And that's really insane. What more, you can get it from the graveyard with Greasefang, and at the end step it goes to your hand, so you can recast it next turn. So amount of things you can do with this deck, and just go for 1, but you don't really lose the card, so it's more like 0 for 1 in a way. Just gives you so oppressive value that your opponent crumbles at some point. I'm not sure if this game will be in the video, but we also had some crazy game with, like, you know, green decks with Storm the Festivals, and you would think that you cannot outvalue this kind of decks. You can. With this one you can actually outvalue them, even if they go full deck like length. You just have more stuff that deals more damage. So that's pretty insane. So definitely check the deck, especially if you like Mardu or vehicles, but even if you don't, I really enjoyed playing this one. I think it's really strong, and I think there's a lot of things to learn about this deck. So if you are a really good player driving this deck, you can definitely improve the win rate by quite a lot. I didn't play it perfectly, but I hope it was decent, you know? I'm pretty happy with the performance. So, with that being said, don't forget to subscribe. We have new decks every single day, so don't miss out on this. And thank you everyone for support. I hope you enjoy the videos. We are going first. We don't have vehicles, and yeah, but we have a good mana base. That's something really important. So let's start with this one, and with Caves of Koilos, we will have perfect mana base. And we are against the non-irritating deck of the format, so this might end pretty hard for us. I guess Valorous Stance is a thing. Not sure if we will even have time to play Restoration of Eiganjo. I think we need to go super all-in to try to kill him as soon as possible. Let's see if the damage goes through. It does. Good. Good. He might have like Fading Hope or something like this. So do we give him the target? No, I think we just go with Restoration. He has protection spells, and this will be additional creature at some point in the game that he doesn't really want. Essence Capture, yeah, that's something he was waiting for. Alright. But the draw is pretty abysmal. That's another thing. So I guess we ramp, but we don't have anything to ramp into really. Like, so far we are actually winning in the race. So we don't need to cast anything. Like with Restoration of Eiganjo, that was this extra play. And we also have Valorous Stance, so we can protect our creatures. I'm not sure if that's the correct play, but it seems pretty good so far. No, we are not playing into your Essence Scatter. You need to kill us with this 3/2 flyer. He probably has some kind of marches, the blue ones, but he still needs, you know, to do stuff. And that's a lot of power suddenly. And it will get worse, so... so I think he has the march, right? And then he will play multiples of them, so he will just get 2 or 3 turns. I hope he doesn't have like 3 of them, because then I don't think we can win. Raffine's Informant is good, but, you know, it's still a card that is of a type of creature, and I don't really want to play into Essence Capture. The super smart play would be to discard Essence Capture, because he wants to bait us into playing into Essence Capture, because he has a second one, and he sees that we avoid it intentionally. But we are too smart for this, we won't play into... Oh my god, he's actually top 200, I didn't see it. That's a good information, because like in this rank they actually really think about their plays, and mind games might start to be a thing. And I think discarding this was a mind game. The problem is that he can hit us multiple times, most likely. My turn. Okay. So what will you say for this? So it will get countered, or the Djinn will get protected, but if that's a phase out, he will die. Okay, sure. Oh, that's a good draw. Smork? Do we smork? Okay, he chum blocked. Let's see the damage. Oh, you love to see it. So, do you want to counter? Got you. Oh man, I feel that we really played it nicely. So yeah, of course he counters it, but no counter. And the problem is, do we go for the Valorous Stance with the additional mana? They definitely can play a Spell Pierce or something like this. You know what, I think we lose the game by not having enough mana to pay. And not having creatures. Like, he can block 1 of the creatures, and he needs to block 4 of them. So as you can see, he's basically digging for answers. And when he plays the answer, we will make sure that he needs another answer for the stance. And I'm not playing anything, because if he wants to pump it to 10, he needs to use all the mana probably. So he will discard 2 cards, it will be 9. He needs to play something else. And then he needs to protect it and... oh, never mind. Scrap that. Djinn. Let's see if our like Hail Mary play was enough. And it was? Cook, top 200, beaten by our Mardu vehicles. I'm proud of this game. I think that our opponent definitely tried to bait us, and we knew what's cooking. With Spirited Companion so much. Like, it helps drawing lands that I usually lack early game. Like, so much.
Especially with Dimir Raffine Informant. I think it's actually a bit better. We still get to draw a card, but we have better, stronger creature. Ooh. The problem is, what do we discard? I honestly think it's the Virus Beetle. It is artifact creature. It has to be vehicle. However, we don't have anything for reanimation, right? I would love to have something, but maybe we were supposed to... Yeah, I know that's the point, right? But still. Let's attack first and see if we eat the removal. I don't really want to cast Greasefang this turn. Oh, unless he does it. Okay. That's way better. Okay, so how do we... I really want to duress him, to be honest. Because it hits Liliana and removal for Greasefang. Let's see. I really want to know what he has. Oh wow. So it will be a lot of Trespassers. So for this reason we go for Spirited Companion to draw our next land drop. And I guess we lose the Raffine Informant most likely. So, the game is on. A Serra Paragon is amazing against this kind of deck. Let's get red, just in case. When he attacks, he gets rid of the Virus Beetle, and when he plays it, he gets around it as well. We don't have really good targets for the Paragon, to be fair. I will actually play this. It's not perfect, but I want a little bit more cards. Our opponent has a lot of swamps, so until he gets another Invoke Despair, we are okay. It's pretty hard to navigate this game. I would love to have this card, but we didn't have time to play it before the second Trespasser. And eating the graveyard means that we cannot bank any artifacts because they get exiled, so we need to do it the same turn we use them, basically. So, let's draw some new cards, like Mech or something like this, that is not a land. At least we have a lot of targets to this card, I guess. Gotta be positive. And for this reason, I think it should be Greasefang now. Yeah, because then we can draw card at the end step, and that's pretty important. I think we leave the Bankbuster to block. We also want to cast a spell every single turn, because if they flip, it will be so much harder. So we need to make sure that he needs to flip, so he needs to waste full turn to do it. There's a high chance it will be this turn. Okay. I see. We also get triggers first. That's interesting attack. So I'm pretty sure he has some kind of removal, but we are okay. We will draw a card, we will block the Trespasser. Like, it's not bad for us. It might be mid. Oh, it's mid hook. But we still get to draw a card, then we play Paragon and draw with the Spirited Companion. Sure, enjoy. And it's one of the last 3 cards he has, so it's not like he's doing a lot out of this. Invoke Despair is basically the only scare. Man, we are flooding like crazy. It's good that we have so many good cards that we actually can play after getting flooded anyway. Okay, this is actually pretty good. When this... if you do, it gains. I need the perpetually keyword. We cannot attack because of the summoning sickness. So let's eat this despair that he top decked. Oh, not here, not here. Okay, interesting. So whatever he takes, we just take the other one. Greasefang obviously is the better choice, however, we have a lot of cards that we can use. Spirited Companion is pretty good too. And our opponent is in full top deck mode right now. Alright, so I think we play like this. This also heals us, which is amazing. And I don't want to put a lot of stuff into the graveyard unless I use it the same turn. That's a really good draw. That's a really good draw. So a mech, you know, casually killing whatever. Honestly, this one is more scary right now. Just because of the mana that he has, and there's a small chance he doesn't top deck the spare, you know? Okay. Okay, and right now he cannot really attack with his stuff. Okay, so we wait about the top deck, and then our play is way better unless he top decks perfect card. This is one of the last turns he will have to make a difference. And our next turn will be extremely powerful. We will have like 3 plays or something crazy like this. So the only card I actually fear is Invoke Despair. Other than this, Mythic is pretty good as well, but not as good. We can work around it, but it's definitely one of the better draws from his deck. But still, not enough to swing the game completely. We also get some HP, always nice addition. Now we get Removal, classic. Okay, let's go for Raffine Informant. We might leave this for Shortred. Even though this crew's a bit better, I don't think we want to crew right now so much. Let's get rid of the Painland, let's draw a card. And I guess let's spam the game with a lot of Eiganjos. Like, they will be good, they just need a little bit of time. Oh, and we drew all the planes from our deck. So chapter 1 does not do anything. That's important to remember. But this guy is just drawing from the top like a champ. However, I don't think it will be enough, honestly. Let's get rid of the planes and get Raffine Informant, and then we cycle. Oh, that's a nice one. I honestly don't want second one. It's okay, but I prefer the Bankbusters, they are so much better. Let's see if we can connive. I would love to have Companion, but I need to discard something, and we want to get rid of Liliana anyway. You know, she's a pain generally. 2 attackers. Liliana has a 27, so we need to win by value, not by smorking him. And now we go for another Bankbuster. Now we can draw 3 cards a turn, so I don't think his top decks can compete with this. Okay, that's a good draw. That's a good draw. We don't have use for it now, and it seems that he whiffed finally. You love to see it. Yep, first time he whiffed, he automatically concedes. He cannot go against 3 Bankbusters and so many vehicles. We're starting with the dogs, and we love to see it. It's actually such a good start when you can just chain a lot of companions. And especially like with Restoration, at this point we will never get mana screwed, and that's enough for me to take this hand. So let's start. They also provide a little bit of pressure, so no. It's not the biggest deal, but it's something. Restoration. Oh yes, we definitely played the Restoration first. Let's attack. Okay, no instants. And it won't be countered. So you basically played a 3 mana very strong creature that cannot get countered because of the tapland. Man, going on the play is so much better. Raffine. Okay, I see how it is. I see how it is. Alright, so do we go for the Virus Beetle or Companion? I think Companion. Okay. We play the land, and now we think. Man, the attack will be super obvious, but you know what? Let's try it. Man, it's so obvious, it hurts. Oh no, we got 1 damage. Like, we could go for the mech, and next turn we can actually kill Raffine with it. Unless, no, if he pumps it, we cannot. Oh, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. I think we go like this then. Raffine is not extremely aggressive yet, and it's the only creature on the board. If he plays something more, we just use the mech. Maybe. Yeah, maybe I should just have waited. But then if he doesn't attack, like, we are falling really behind, so I'm not sure. Against bad players, waiting would be perfect, but if your opponent knows what you have, and with 4 mana open in this kind of deck, like, you know that probably something is up. So I just don't feel super comfortable, you know? Alright, we can play the land, so we don't need to ramp. Let's get this one. Yeah, discarding cards for free and another 1/1 is actually a big deal. Like, we can start basically racing him right now. Especially with Eiganjos. This means that he needs to make a plain main phase, and that's a pretty good one. I just need a little bit more vehicles. Okay, I messed it up. What I should have done is discard the mech. Even though we don't get anything then, I can get it back with Greasefang. That was the play and I messed it up. So it's okay, but definitely not as good as it could be. And our opponent seems to have like issues with, you know, value. Generally, if you don't discard Connive to, you know, increase the damage, it means that you just don't have a lot of non-land cards in the hand, and you just prefer to cycle them. But this means that we can kill it next turn. And 3 Surgehacker Mech, easy. We will get it next turn. So now we will try to go for Eiganjo. And our opponent right now doesn't really have a choice, I think. He needs to go aggressive. Especially, like, we have 3 power in the board. Those critters seem like nothing, but 3 damage a turn is something that really stacks up very quickly. Like, 2 more turns and he's at 8 out of basically nowhere. And with this transformed, the Architect, it's a deal. So he needed to sweep the board just for those critters. That's so sweet. And now we got the Architect, and I think Greasefang, right? Yeah, we can remove whatever he plays, unless it's Raffine. So I think it's a good deal. So he just swept the board, and the new board is even worse. Yeah. Alright. So, let's see. I would expect some removal. I'm not sure if with Fateful Absence our own thing in response. It is fancy, but probably not the best choice, right? Void Rend. He is scared of Architect more. Okay, do we kill it? I don't think so. I don't think so. He will play something sooner or later. And you know, 4 damage a turn is already something. He's tapped out, so now the Surgehacker will come into play, and whatever creature we play, we can use it to crew, and Menace is a big deal as well. Maybe not in this deck especially, but it does something, you know? It does something. That's a land. Okay, I will cycle this one, just to put the counter and make it a little bit more threatening. Yeah, we need both, right? Or at least the Greasefang. It shouldn't matter which one we tap. So the point of this whole exercise is not really this 1 extra damage. If he wants to prevent the damage, he needs to kill the Surgehacker Mech. And that's pretty bad, because this is the card that Greasefang takes back. Okay, cut down. So while he's defending, we are definitely pressuring a lot. But for sure we need some creatures to, you know, crew the thing. Okay, but this will probably be a ninja, but we have a lot of Surgehacker Mechs, so that's a really good one. And each one of them will be more and more powerful. So no creatures for you. We can crew. And crewing is actually so much better. Look, we actually killed them 1 turn faster thanks to the crewing. So he needs to kill the Greasefang probably. Okay, that's a cycling. Cut down. Won't hit anything. So he needs hard removal, and it's best if it's a instant speed removal. And I think he doesn't have it. He's looking for Infernal Grasp and he didn't hit it. So, if not Surgehacker, we would have give him one more turn, and we are worthy of a number. This deck can get you to top 1800 Mythic. I'm pretty sure it can get you to like top 500, to be honest. Alright, so our opponent goes first. Oh man, this is perfect hand to start the game. On the play. But we definitely have plays. I like the dog a lot actually. But we probably start with the Informant. Oh, duress. Liliana, be aware. However, we still go for the Informant, we discard the Surgehacker. I will fix my mistake from the previous games, because this is how you should play the deck. So whatever he plays, we just play Greasefang, we reanimate the Surgehacker. Okay, interesting. What will you say if we attack? Does it change your mind? Okay, no instance. That's really interesting. I do it only because we will be able to play a 2-drop, and I don't want to go for the Greasefang. Well, that's definitely a stacked hand. I think we should kill him very quickly. Do we go for the Meathook? Oh man, Invoke! Oh, that hurts. Actually, yeah, we cannot kill Shardred. Okay, so for this reason we go for the Bankbuster because it's basically a 2 mana for 4. And we need to hope that he slows at least one turn. He needs to whiff at least one time, and he did. And now we can go for the full power basically. Alright, we crow. I guess better would be to... Okay, so I missed some damage. Better way would be to crew with this one the Bankbuster, and when we get back the thingy, we crew it. But you know, we can actually still do it. I kinda, you know, little messed it up, but it's okay. Like, we got the damage, so we didn't miss anything in the end. We just make it very awkward. So he thought that maybe he has a chance, but after he saw how aggressive we are, he knew that he doesn't. Alright, so we are going second. Our cardo is okay, but we have only tap lands. I don't love it, but it's okay. And we are against MTG first supporter. If you are watching this video, thank you for supporting MTG, because after whatever we've said about the game, it's actually pretty cool. Okay, let's go for white and red. And we are in for some trouble. Our opponent started perfect, basically perfect hand, and we have tap lands, so that's not what we want to see. I'm already feeling that the game is over. Let's talk about thinking positive, right? However, our opponent has basically 3 cards, so man, but his start is actually perfect. I don't think you can go harder than this at the start, and now of course, just to wrap this out, now we got the planes. Alright, so how do we play this one out? We definitely go with the Fable, I think. It prevents this attack, and then we get more creatures later, so in a way we play a 4-4. Oh my god. The perfect hand continues. Oh man, that's so much power so early. We are on our 3 lands only. And that's a lot of damage. I don't think we can trade right now. Like, we need to trade favorably in some way. Otherwise we are just not in for this world. And we definitely cycle. We don't even have, like, vehicles, which really sucks here. Fateful Absence, that's something. That's something. Alright, how do we play? We can get rid of the Kami, maybe? Okay, I think this is the play. We connive something. Restoration seems so weak in this situation. We are so slow already. We don't need to be even slower. Alright, this is the first turn when we actually can counterplay the game. So we need to make it count. Oh my god, stop with the visitors. Oh, like, look at this guy, he's just going. Man, if you apply... Is this some part of supporter pack? Like, look at what's going on. It's actually insane. So, visitor into visitor, and he will copy it, right? Yeah, he will copy the effect. I guess we just take all of this. I don't think there's much we can answer here. Oh man. However, there's some light in the tunnel. I guess we need to double trade this one. Man, it's so bad. Like I think we had hand that could win this, but not with so much negative tempo. Even this planes went exactly in the wrong turn. Like, look at this. We are already nearly stabilizing the game. Do we have a 1-drop? No. Like, we are so close to greatness, but not close enough to greatness. And suddenly we are closing to stabilizing the game. Oh my god, bro. Well, we got absolutely smashed, but it's mostly about being on the draw with very slow hand. With double Surgehacker Mech. Oh man, that might be our perfect draw, actually. For the first time ever, we can go absolutely ham with this one. Let's hope that there will be some creatures from opponent side. We have white, and we go with the Raffine Informant. We discard the Mech, because we want to get it back with Greasefang. And let's see, I would really like to see some kind of creature, because we basically kill it for free. But you know, you cannot have everything sometimes. Alright, so do we go for the Greasefang? Then I guess we hit for 5. But honestly, I think Fable is a bit better here. It just gives a little bit of everything, and we can cycle those lands. I don't think we need so many. And when he finally uses a creature, then we use the Greasefang. Or I guess even if he doesn't. Yeah, that's the reason I really like Fable. You can cycle all the lands and draw some more, I guess. Alright, so let's go with the Greasefang. Okay, now we can crew this one. And we can hit him really hard this turn. Man, this is 10 damage. I didn't even realize so much. I'm not sure what we are playing against, but I think it might be worth it to just go super wide. Like, it's extra damage, it's a discard. Discard matters the least, but I do it mostly to get a free creature. And next turn we get the Kiki-Jiki. So he needs some kind of sweeper, I think, or he dies. Qatar Commando. And he didn't cast it. Interesting. That trades really well against Greasefang. So I think he feels the pressure that he needs to go very, very quickly. Still not sure what the deck does. I would guess that it has Paragon, because everything is like going into graveyard. Yeah, I think it's some kind of Paragon deck, like the Angel Paragon. Yeah, and he knows that we just cast the Surgehacker, kill this, and attack with everything, basically.